So I just talked about number one, which is like being obsessed. You guys are just obsessed.
Yeah,
you guys don't turn off.
You gotta be passionate. You have to really lock in, and whatever it is, in this case, if it's storytelling, you have to truly believe, you know, in your product. In this case, our product is the story, right? The video. You have to really believe. You have to back it with everything that you have, because if not, it just isn't your best quality. It just doesn't come out with good quality.
All right, so I've been here in Mexico for nearly 2 weeks, staying at my friend's Julius Dean's place, and today in this video, I want to show you kind of like behind the scenes. It's gonna be very casual. I'm gonna walk you through the top takeaways, breakthroughs that I have living here for nearly 2 weeks. So I've been working in the basement. This is like the only sane part of the entire house where it's quiet and you can kind of get some work done. I am somebody that requires like absolute silence when I work. So this house, on the other hand, thrives on
chaos and madness.
And that's everybody else upstairs. So I have been working here in the basement, and the stuff that you've seen, some of the cover videos, was all done here in this very room. But today in this video, if you stay to the end of this video, I'm gonna walk you through the strategy, the brilliance, the madness behind what it takes to literally build up the most watched page on Facebook, and soon their intention to take over YouTube, social media, as well as the internet. So I'm gonna take you behind the scenes. This is gonna be a very casual thing to show you guys how I've been spending my time here, as well as some of the takeaways. So this is where like everybody have the meal. You can see like it's absolute chaos over here. The OCD part of me feels like I want to clean up this entire place. So let's go out for a while, okay? Before like the sun goes down, it's about to go down. Oh wow, the entire camera just fogged up. Give me a second. So here we go. Wipe it a little bit. All right, so things are a little bit still foggy still, so let's see. It's probably tip of the day: do not wipe your camera lens with your t-shirt. But okay, so couple of things. Okay, so I remember it's still fogging up. Maybe not. All right, so this is the backyard, and one of the things that like I've seen. Give me a sec, still fogging up. Okay, cool. So let's talk about my biggest takeaways. So if you're a content creator, if you're somebody who wants to market anything, tell a story, social media, shoot a video, these are a few takeaways. Okay guys, it looks like we might need to go back indoors because it keeps fogging out here. So it's a little bit humid out here, and okay, anyway, so this is the outdoor, right? So first let's talk about like the different lessons. Okay, so I'm just gonna free flow this. It's not planned, it's not scripted. Before I head out for dinner. So fogging, still fogging. How we doing? It's probably gonna fog up again, hey? Alright, so first thing, okay? First takeaway, number one, I would say it's obsession. That's pretty much it. I would say like the reason why. Let me try to go back indoors, guys. It's like a little bit blurry in here. Okay, seems to be a little bit better. Okay, let's head back down for a second then, because the thing seems to keep fogging up. I'll kind of show you guys around the house a little bit. Okay, but that's number one, okay? So, is it still recording? All right, number one we've talked about is obsession. This entire house like the entire team is staying in 2 houses back to back. Everybody's at the same place. They're brainstorming. They are talking about viral videos, engagements, watch time, retention, 24/7. What's viral? Who's doing what? What type of angle? What type of content? The different angles to shoot. And it's just this living, breathing space of creativity that doesn't turn off 24/7. And I think that this is a great reminder that whatever it is you want to be good at, whatever skill set, whatever ability, you got to be obsessed about it. And definitely, like Julius, the team, and everybody here, they don't turn off. They're all obsessed about virality, content creation, engagement. Okay, and that brings us to like the second point. Second point that was huge for me is understanding hooks, openers, as well as what's gonna get a person's attention. So what was big is like when I see like the videos, you know, being shot, I'm always thinking like, hey, what's up, Josh? I'm just shooting a video for YouTube. Right. So Josh here, we've been hanging out. He's like, you might have seen him in some of the videos.
What's up, guys?
Right, so I'm telling YouTube over here like my biggest takeaways, like living here for nearly 2 weeks, but from an angle of like online marketing, storytelling.
Oh, of course.
And how that translates to what it is that I do. So I just talk about number one, which is like being obsessed. You guys are just obsessed.
Yeah,
you guys don't turn off.
You gotta be passionate. You have to really lock in, and whatever it is, in this case, if it's storytelling, you have to truly believe, you know, in your product. In this case, our product is the story, right? The video. You have to really believe. You have to back it with everything that you have, because if not, it just isn't your best quality. It just doesn't come out with good quality.
Exactly.
It never does.
So that's number one. Okay, that takes us to, thanks Josh. Like,
got you, babe.
right. So that,
bye, guys.
Take care. So that brings us to like number two, right? Number two is like, I'm thinking about like, you know, I talk a lot about ads and pattern interrupt and what stops the scroll. So like on social media and it's like the same thing, right? Organic, it's like, what's gonna stop the scroll? So that's the pattern interrupt. So whether it's email, the title, whether it is for a Facebook Live. So like over here, like the crazy thing is like this room here it's a mess, but this is like an entire room of freaking props. Okay, I don't know if I can kind of switch the camera around and try. Okay, so over here, it's like there's props for everything. There's like rubber bands and art and label makers, and you've got like fishing hooks and magic, and you've got like feet, right? Human anatomy, hands, tongues. So all these are all props, like worms, maggots, rats. All these are props for videos. You've got like costumes and just crazy things. Now, why are there all these props? Well, very similar to how I think about content and ads. It's like it's what stops the scroll, right? It's what makes it interesting. And I think like what I truly like never thought about is how storytelling, they've made it like universal, so that whenever a person lands on a specific video, whether it's 30 seconds in, whether it's 2 minutes in, they understand what's going on. And I think that was extremely powerful. So that brings us to like number three, right? So number one is obsession. Number two is like understanding pattern interrupt, what stops the scroll, the hook, utilizing props. Number three, the third one would be like, how can we be inclusive of our target audience so that when they jump in onto that Facebook Live, when they watch the video, there is always this open loop. And I would say that's number three, right? It's like this open loop where if you don't watch the entire thing, there's this thing that still remains unresolved. And I think that's really powerful in like presentations webinars, not just videos, right? But like, how can we get our audience attention so that there's this payoff, just like this video right now, right? Right at the start, I said, what's the payoff? The payoff is, by the end of this video, you're gonna understand like what I discovered, you know, staying here, in terms of what it takes to become like the #1. In fact, we're at the entrance over here. This is literally the printout from most views in terms of creators. Right, and Julius is having like 4 billion views, #1. Like, more in T-Series, more than all these top channels over here. So that was the payoff, right? So it's an open loop. So that means like whether it's magic, whether it's a prank, whether it is a tutorial, whether it is when a person comes on, there must be this thing that is still not resolved until the end, and it feels like they need to watch till the end. Now, when that happens, what's going to happen? It drives up your watch time, and when your watch time is high on pretty much every platform, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's your ad, the platform, the algorithm will naturally push it out to more people, right? I'm just kind of walking around showing you guys like the mess and the chaos of this space and magic as well. Anyway, so that's number 3, right? Understanding like there must be this open loop so that's unresolved. So like I notice how the little things that makes a person like, oh, it's always progressive, right? That's the word I was looking for. It's like progressive. It's like there's this thing that is still not resolved yet that I need to be able to continue watching so that it answers my that open loop. Okay, and you'll notice that Julius does that in like all of their videos. Whether it's like 1 minute in, 3 minutes in, 5 minutes in, there's this thing that's unresolved. And I think that for me, from an angle of like marketing, speaking, selling, it just further reinforces that like, how can I keep the audiences engaged, whether it's through a webinar, whether it's through an ad, so that there's this open loop that makes it unresolved, so that there's a benefit to continue watching, right? Because that drives up your watch time. And that brings us to number 4. So number 4 is like outsourcing everything. Now, being here, crazy thing is like, there's a full-time chef, full-time personal trainer. They come in, the chefs prepares all 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner. So nobody really needs to go out to eat because everything is just prepared in-house. And I think like, for me personally, whenever I'm back home, one of the best things that I did was getting a full-time helper to do these type of things. So now obviously this depends on where you're at in life and business, but I would say like, it's not just about like, if you're an entrepreneur, you got to think about how can you outsource your weaknesses first. That's the first thing you outsource. I remember like the first thing I outsourced was like support, because that's the thing that I don't want to be handling, and that's my weakness as well. So outsourcing everything, including your food, and even though you can't outsource your workouts, that would be pretty cool. And if you're an offer that does that, you'll probably be a billionaire. But you could outsource the process so that the likelihood of you doing the workout is going to be higher. So that was pretty cool how everything is pretty much outsourced or delegated. And that brings us to number 5. Number 5 is, I would say, is like the meticulousness. Okay, so I was at let me see if I can find Julius where he is. Maybe you can get him to chime in a little bit here. But number 5 is I remember like on the first few days, I was at this old school boxing gym with him, and after that workout, he was looking at one of the videos that his team member did. Let me see if I can find Julius. Okay, let's walk up for a second. And basically what he said was, he looked at the video, okay, and this is exactly what happened. This was the feedback. He looked at it and he said, so this was, to give you context, it was about repurposing this video that was on a specific platform to go to like a YouTube Shorts or something. So he said, the video started off with me looking at the camera like this, going, right? But, and he said that shouldn't be the case, because in that video, which was like, he said the difference if it started off with just looking away from the camera lens, which is, versus, what's the difference? The difference is when there's something there, it makes the audience go, oh, I wonder what's happening over there, right? Versus looking at a camera. If I'm looking at a camera, it means there doesn't seem to be anything happening because I'm looking at a camera lens, right? And the way he gave that feedback just goes to show, like, I think that that's truly the difference between like legendary and the people that has mastered their craft versus the ones that are pretty good, right? So like, I would have never even thought about that minor detail like that. So, and I think that translates to like everything else that we do, right? So whether you're somebody who wants to do, you know, webinars or sales videos or like ads, initially it's all about like the big moving pieces. The big moving pieces will usually drive the big differences, right? But after that, the next level of improvement is the little nuances, and that can only be picked up through experience, through getting your hands dirty, and by actually doing the work, right? So, yeah, nuances. What else? So, another huge thing is, I would say, understanding what's current. So I'll say like number 6 is modeling. Like understanding what's going on, what's trending, what's viral is so crucial, right? So modeling just goes to show like regardless of what market you might be in, it's crucial to understand like what's happening in the marketplace, whether it's your competitors, whether it's the change in the algorithm, whether it is something that's current, by literally beginning the end in mind. So this is a principle that I feel is something that I think about all the time. I never want to ever build something from scratch and be the first person that gets shot in the back, especially when it's been figured out before, especially when somebody else has done it and has paved the way, whether it's through a specific sales process, whether it's a funnel, whether it is a price point, right? Videos is the same thing, right? There's a specific thing that people like, topic that's trending, a specific way to or angle, and modeling just comes back down to it's not about copying, but rather like understanding what are the different elements that's proven to work, so that you can do it your way, right? Now that you know that there is a way that has been done by somebody else. So if you think about modeling and repurposing it, or rather utilizing this, most of the time, like what I normally do is if I'm modeling something, I will list down all the different components that makes up that entire model. So this could be like the color scheme, the price points, the upsells, the languaging, the story, the hooks, the headlines, the spacing. So this would be like modeling in my world, right? When it comes to let's say funnels. Same thing for ads, right? Ads, if you think about like modeling, it's now about, well, what's the pages targeting? How often do they what's their attribution window? Are they utilizing image ads? Are they utilizing retargeting? Right? So now you could be in a totally different market. Now this is about videos. So same thing here for videos. It's like if there's something that's proven to be viral, well, what's the topic? Is it Facebook Lives? How does it begin? What's the story? Is it like the first 1 minute? It's like, is it intense and then kind of mellows down, right? So there are these things that can always be modeled based on, you know, somebody that has done it before. So it looks like we might be running out of battery, and there seems to be a little slightly lengthy video because I'm just going off the cuff and trying to use this place to kind of inspire me in terms of what I learned. So let me just hit down again to change the batteries. Today's the weekend, by the way, so some people have kind of gone out and the house is kind of empty, but it's usually like absolute madness here. So this has been my workspace, right? Whenever I try to get work done. So let me change out the batteries because it looks like we are low, and we're gonna resume in a sec. All right, and we are back with a fresh new battery pack. Okay, so where are we at? We're at number like 6, right? So that's how I think about modeling, right? Beginning with the end in mind and utilizing something that is proven. I'm trying to go all the way to 10 here, and I know like there's a lot. I'm just trying to think about as I walk around, how do I kind of prioritize all of the different things that's powerful. Oh, in fact, you know what? Let's use this part over here. So, man, this is powerful for me. So like, that brings us to number 7, right? So right now, what number 7 is number 7 is the reminder where there was this one time I was in the pool, and when you're in the pool upstairs, you will appear over here, and as well as over there, right? And I remember like when Julius was taking a story, when he posted it, what most people would do is like me, I would just, you know, take a story and then whatever, right? It's just if it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, like, but even then, when Julius posted it, he would like really cut it and trim it so that it was like the most exciting few seconds of that 15-second thing, right? So maybe the clip was just 3 seconds long, when in fact the original was like 15 seconds. And even though it's a casual thing, it was a 15-second Instagram story that's going to disappear anyway that he posted. It's like it was so meticulously done, and I know I've kind of repeated that, but it's like, you know, attention to detail. And when I say like this is number 7, right? Like trimming, it feels as though every part of the video, if it's like 3 minutes long, I feel like it's a Hollywood production, even though it's just shot from the phone, right? Most people, they see that it's shot from the phone and it's like, you know, it looks casual, but most people do not see the thought process and what happens behind the scenes, the attention to detail, even though it was shot on the phone. So it's like every second, there's no downtime. Every second, they're thinking, well, could I have, you know, zoomed in on this person's face a little bit, see this person's attention, and really make sure that every second, it's engaging. There's no downtime. It's a pattern interrupt. It's a moving thing, right? So that it constantly engages to minimize drop-offs and to maximize retention. And that brings us to number 8. So number 8 is, oh man, there's just so many here. Number 8, let's see. Crazy that we just talked about how there's no downtime and there's no silence, but like literally this is slightly different, right? This is just me vlogging my thoughts before I leave tomorrow. Yeah, it's time passed by so quick over here. Right, okay, so number 8 would be to double down on strengths and outsource weaknesses. So what I realized is like over here, it's like everybody has got their own strength, right? And in order for Julius to do what he does and his brilliance with his extrovert energy, that means that he needs to surround himself with a team that makes up for the stuff that he would either not be good at or that would drain him. So things like organizing stuff, right? I mean, a lot of things are, it's quite funny because it's like, he's so good at what he does, but at the same time, there's all these other things that needs to be supported, right, in order for him to shine. So things like making sure things are on schedule, things go out, every day like a well-oiled machine, like a clockwork. So, and I think that this is huge, especially for those of you watching, thinking about how can you first start off outsourcing your strengths, which is usually, or rather outsourcing your weakness, which is usually the start of a journey. But the next level will be outsourcing your strengths. So initially you start off by focusing on what you're good at and outsourcing your weaknesses. But the next phase to that would be to outsource your strengths as well. So what does this mean? It means like while videos are being pumped out a couple of times a day, Julius realized that he can't be in all the videos every single day. So what does he do? He's got people to help him, support him with that process. And now that he's reached a level where he can outsource his strengths as well, right? And it's crazy because now, whenever I say this word upsell, some of you outsource, some of you could be thinking, well, good for you guys. You guys in the position to like outsource and delegate. But I understand like everybody starts somewhere, right? I've known Julius since he was like a one-man team before all this. So it's all about understanding what your strengths are first, that building up that, having that level of awareness, so that you can work towards mastering that craft, build up that seed capital, so that you can double down on yourself as well as your business. Man, my hair is a mess. It's like so long now. Okay, anyway, so that's pretty much number 8. Number 9 is what number 9 is, it's like coming from and this is very similar to like what I experienced when I was in Florida, but over here it's like life is normal. So I've been going out to like the restaurants, the bars, clubs, and the crazy thing is, coming from a country where everything's on lockdown, it's like this is where I would think like, wow, after a specific point in time, it's like, is this part of the world crazy, or if the rest of the world that's actually crazy, and I know this is something I talked about in my other video when I was speaking at Funnel Hacking Live, which, by the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to smash the like button, comment below for the algorithm, as well as subscribe if you're enjoying videos just like this one. I know it's not often that I create vlogging videos like this and behind the scenes to what it is that I do when I'm traveling, because number one, I haven't been traveling much. But if you do, let me know in the comments as well. And that brings us to like that number 9. It's like really thinking, especially in this time, and the craziness that's happening right now. It's just really thinking, well, at what point am I gonna say enough is enough, and I've done what I can, I've protected myself. Now again, this video obviously has nothing to do with, I don't care whether you are for getting jabbed or against it, whatever, right? My goal here for making this point is not to create a divide, but it's really thinking about like, at what point in time am I just gonna say, you know what, I've done what I can. I am instead, what I'm going to do is I want to focus on my body, my immunity, what I put in my body, my health, my workouts, because that would be my control. And that's what I decided. That's my personal stand. My personal stand is I'm not going to focus anymore on things that's not in my control, right? But rather work on me, my body, my immunity, my health, what I put in my body, because that would be a thing that's in my control. And I feel like when I did that, my stress levels, my level of happiness, I would say, increased significantly, because now I'm no longer placing something that is not in my control, an externality, a third party, but rather taking control of the situation, right? And that brings us to number 10. Wow, there's so many things I want to say, so I want to think about like, what is the final thing? Number 10 should come from Julius. In fact, I'm not sure where he is. I'll go up in a second. the reason why there's this pause is this. So there was a lot of different points, but I think that I wanted like number 10 to be like the best one. And I would say number 10 is this. It's remembering who was there for you when you were still at the bottom doing the grind, and taking care of the people around you. I've seen firsthand to Julius' growth from the time before he started this, before the madness, when he was still thinking about, the bills and when he was still a solopreneur, and I've seen him starting it out and all the way to scaling this and being today the most watched and followed page on the whole internet. I know that firsthand, he takes care of everybody around him. He takes care of especially the people that was there for him was at the start and the rock bottom. And I think that just seeing that, it's coming from the angle of gratitude and taking care of the people around you. I think it's a great reminder to always remember the people that's in your life when you had absolutely nothing. I think that's pretty much it. That wraps today's video up. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Today will be my last night over here, so I have no idea what's going to happen. Got a feeling it might be pretty epic. I have to go and pack my bags now, including all of the stuff over here. I hope you enjoyed my journey together with me in terms of my takeaways. Smash the subscribe button if you want to watch more behind the scenes stuff, and I will see you in the next video.